Welcome to the June edition of From the President's Desk. As I have traveled around the country to the various chapter conventions, there have been a number of recurring issues and questions that have been brought up. I want to assure you that here at the National Office, we are addressing those issues and more with Postal Service Headquarters and will continue to do so. On the issues of the National Performance Assessment, or NPA, and Pay for Performance, or PFP systems, for fiscal year 2021, there have been a number of questions. While you have seen some goals that have been shared with us, I can assure you that at this point nothing has been finalized, and it looks like the program will not actually be finalized for some time yet. I have been working with headquarters asking if they share some information with you in the field so you know where we are at and what the expectations are for this fiscal year and beyond. However, we are just not quite there yet. Please do not let the NPA or PFP situation interfere with what you are doing on a daily basis, and continue to do what is best for your office, your employees, and your customers every day. We will continue to address this until something definite is put out for everyone to see. One of the changes that I know will be in place for fiscal year 2021 and into fiscal year 2022 is that we will be going to a 10-cell matrix rather than the 15-cell matrix that was in place up through fiscal year 2020. As we have ran the numbers here at the National Office using information from fiscal year 2020 and the new goals that have been shared so far for fiscal year 2021, it looks like if this process had been in place in fiscal year 2020, your final ratings would have been very similar to where you ended last year. So this change to 10 cells should not have a negative impact on most of you. As far as PFP is concerned, we still have some work to do there as well. However, in preliminary information I have received, it appears that the payoffs will start in Block 3 and the maximum payout for a Block 10 will continue to be 9%. As I receive more information, I will do my best to keep you informed. Another of the issues has to do with hiring of new employees and the time it takes to get someone on board after they have accepted the position. As I have had discussions with the Labor Relations and Human Resources representatives at the Postal Service Headquarters on this issue, there seems to be some disparity in what I am hearing from them and what I am hearing from you in the field. As we approach peak season and the necessary hiring that will need to be done between now and then, we need to address this to see if we can indeed have an understanding on both sides regarding where the potential bottlenecks are and where the system seems to be working well. So if you have specific examples of hiring that you have tried to do, whether it was an RCA, CCA, PSE, or any other position that you have waited months to get filled, please share that information with me. I do request that you be as specific as possible regarding your office and what the issue or issues are or were with the hiring process. The information I need you to include is posting numbers, length of time it took to hire or not hire, if you were informed during the process, and if you were, how did you receive that information and from whom? This would aid myself and the representatives at headquarters as we make every attempt to get this resolved to everyone's satisfaction. While I am sure that with the need for background checks and the issue of getting driving records, that this can slow the process down, but we need to work toward a solution so that you in the field are not facing the massive staffing shortages that you are currently experiencing. Also, from everything I hear from you, we need to do everything we can to improve the communication on every level throughout this process. Along with the issue of hiring the employees is employee retention. I know that you should have already received information on some initiatives that are being put in place from headquarters level on down regarding how we make the onboarding procedures for our new employees as smooth as possible and how we can retain those individuals that we believe will be a good fit for the Postal Service for the long haul. We can say what we want about one generation or another and what their work ethic may or may not be in our estimation. The point is we need to work within the confines that have been laid out for us and do what we can to make this the best possible process. The more new employees we can retain, the more time you will have to do your job as a postmaster manager or supervisor rather than having to serve as a city or rural letter carrier or the person running your 2, 4, or 6 hour RMPO. I would encourage you to take a look at the materials that are being presented and pay special attention to the requirement to do the 30, 60, and 80-day evaluations. Doing those evaluations and being as brutally honest as you have to be with these new employees will benefit both of you in the long run. When you have done everything you can to help them understand the needs of the position they are hired for and the expectations of the Postal Service, and they still do not get it, we may have to separate them. However, as I stated previously, the more time we put into preparing them for the position that they were hired for, the better off we will all be in the long run. With the restructuring continuing in the Postal Service, a number of items are still up in the air as far as when everything will be finalized and when the available positions will be posted for all employees to bid on. It looks like the first general posting could happen as early as September, or it may not be done until October. It all depends on when all the impacted employees get placed. With that in mind, I would encourage you to go into eCareer and make sure that your profile is up to date and paints the best picture of who you are and what you have done that it possibly can. It is clearly up to you to sell yourself, because no one can do a better job of that than you can. In closing, I want to wish all of you a very happy 4th of July holiday, and I hope and pray that you have a great weekend coming up. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to addressing you again next month. Take care and stay safe.